something that just moved in one of these 2 rooms.
We're documenting a destruction that we found last night.
I'll go up to the house, bang on it and say, I don't believe.
Yeah.
Now
What the fuck was that?
Did you hear that?
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna have to reset them.
You should hold this line. Audio difficulties.
Technical difficulty.
Lame Max. Man, that was one of the best ones ever.
It
Ever!
was. It really was.
And
I
we'll
don't
do it
know why you
again.
didn't
We'll
pick
do it
up.
again.
Word for word.
Exactly.
Just
like we
minus
did.
the
Go. Are we good? You hear us?
Okay, what happened was we were talking like this, and there was no sound, so we went to do that all over again. Right? We good?
Yeah,
Are we
we're
good? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. So once again, this is Cryptic Heartland Podcast, episode number 8. We're going to be talking about some fun stuff this evening. Are we okay? Still? Okay, I thought you were shooting your head, so I want to make sure. Sorry about that, guys at home who are sitting on the edge of your seat, trying to hold on to every word we say, and you can't hear nothing we say, so that's not it, sorry. We're going to be talking about some fun stuff this evening. My name is Leo Fernandez with Everyday Legacy Paranormal. To my left.
I am Jason Roberts with Everyday Legacy Paranormal, Road Trip Paranormal, Ghost Tours of Kansas, and Bigfooting Kansas as well.
Changing the order up, huh?
Yes, I did.
All right, and to your left.
Michelle Hartman, Everyday Legacy, and Road Trip. Road Trip Paranormal.
This will be on the bloopers, by the way. So go ahead.
We're on the road trip.
There we go. Roth Christopherson with Road Trip Paranormal and Everyday Legacy.
And the people behind the scene, the voices in your head are Paula, who's off camera, and Max, who will be doing the producing this evening. So,
Keep the audio going.
yep. People at home, let us know if anything cuts out again. We've been having a little bit of troubles. Once again, we do record live in a haunted location that's undisclosed. You never know what's going to show up, what's going to be said, what's going to be heard. So listen closely. You never know. Tonight's episode is going to be a fun one for us. It's going to be something a little different. It's not your usual paranormal stuff per se. It's
Well,
I mean, it kind of is. That's why I said per se. It's kind of, yeah, maybe. It's going to be about just different creatures that people have seen across the U.S., across the world, across everywhere, pretty much in your dreams, on the internet. Some of them maybe hoaxes. That was real. That wasn't paranormal. Too bad. That was. But anyways, we're going to go over some topics tonight that are fun for us. You've seen them in movies. You've seen them on the internet.
Disney?
Probably Princess.
yeah.
You never know.
Because if it's not on Disney, it's not real, right?
Don't worry, we'll put subtitles for you.
Okay.
Get your color book of crayons. I know. I got you. Up to your speed. It's
I'll
all
put
good.
pictures.
It's all good. Like I said, we're gonna be talking about some fun characters tonight. So anybody at home, chime in with the live chat off to the side. We also got the phone number. I think it's posted up. If not, it's 316-617-1232. That's you can call in directly and ask questions live on air if our audio works. That is. Joke. Sorry. But anyway, we're gonna have some fun tonight. So I'm trying to talk. I'm trying to entertain them. I'm not worried about you guys. So you guys,
we're having fun.
Yep. So basically, like I said, we're gonna have some fun. Talk about some creatures you guys have seen everywhere. So everybody's weekend going okay so far? Good.
It's good.
Not bad.
Good. Very cool.
How about you?
Michelle?
I was looking at you.
Well, there you go. Hey,
Oh, and right here.
read your cue card. It's right there. Remember?
Going good. Going good.
Hey, I'm going to throw this out there.
Go ahead.
Okay, since we've been doing this show, we have not had anybody that calls in. Okay? So, as long as you're not related to anybody in the family here, I would like, if somebody calls in tonight, whoever has the best question for us, I'm going to send them a shirt personally from me.
Might be one of his shirts, but
So-
he'll send it to you.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear
So
that?
you and your significant other could probably wear it together.
Oh my god.
But I would like to do that. I would
Wow.
just love to get somebody to call in. So
Yeah.
whoever has the best question for us
Did
tonight,
you say
I'll
if it
personally
was
get
gonna
you a
be
shirt.
this one?
He didn't say.
Did you sleep in it overnight? Did you sleep in it overnight?
So
I'll even sign
it'll
it.
bring you closer to the action because you'll get to be part of Roth. So
I'll even sign it.
No, people are like, I'm not calling. Kidding, of course. So yeah, like Rose said, aka Ruby, if you call in tonight, you ask a great question, we'll start giving some prizes away along the way, maybe.
And
you
we
never
might
know.
mention that later on too, in case somebody comes
Very
in.
good.
Absolutely.
Only when it's live, though. You can't call into YouTube after the fact when we post the video later on. Nobody's going to answer the phone.
You're gonna get calls at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I will kill everyone.
Is the shirt still good? Is it still?
Do you want my size?
Like, Mom? Anywho's. So like I said, let us know with your questions. If you have any problem with the video, audio tonight, we're trying to do our best. Sometimes it's out of our control. The spirits, the entities, the ghosts that are here in the studio, not just us, we're all live somewhat. They like to play tricks on us, like to mess with the audio, mess with the video, like to talk, make their appearances on camera, so you never know what's going to happen. Yeah, that's happened before. First question. I have a question. You have to call in, though. You can't just say it on.
She's not allowed. She's my wife.
I don't care. Anywho, what's the question?
It's
Ask
like
away.
3 things up, 2 things up.
Come on. Anybody? Anyone? Bueller? Okay, we'll dive into it.
All right.
The questions will come along. Let's dive into some creatures. Anybody have a... Oh, you got something to say?
I say we post up the picture of the map.
Okay,
To
that's a great idea.
start off with that.
We're going to post a picture of a map by Max loading it up. This is kind of a fun thing. It just tells you about all the creatures across America, the different locations, what they are, just because they've been reported, and kind of give a little small brief description about each one of them, I believe, if I remember right. So that should be coming up here any minute now. No rush. Hurry up. Kidding.
No rush, hurry up.
Just keeping it light and fun, guys. Come on.
Yeah, because there are several creatures across the country that appear in different states. This is just America alone. This is just
America.
I mean, you have everything from... There you go. You have everything from dinosaur-looking creatures.
Hey, Max.
Um,
Over that? Okay, my bad.
You have lizard people, big cats, bat-looking creatures.
Village
You have
people.
Village people, yes.
Wait, what? Wrong show?
Well,
I'm
you never
sorry.
know.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I mean, look at some of those creatures.
You have America's version of Loch Ness Monster.
Yes.
You have, of course, many Bigfoots. There's a couple different versions of it. There's Skunk Ape down in Florida, which is their version of Bigfoot. You know, Florida has to be a little bit backwards. They can't have Bigfoot. It's Skunky.
You've got
That's why I
Mothman.
moved.
You've got Mothman.
Chupacabra.
Chupacabra. You've got the aliens down there in the corner from what? Oh, we talked about it in the alien version. I can't see. I don't have my glasses on. Sorry.
Bud Witchy?
But I mean, it looks like a little gremlin.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I think it looks like Yoda.
It's like what?
But you have like the flying goats. You know, New
Yep.
Jersey Devil.
Yep.
Everything. So.
Yep. Quite a few out there. This is just American, so you know.
And nothing in Kansas.
Hard to say. Well, Kansas people are weird enough as it is. So, I mean,
Well, Colorado.
Missouri had to make their own up. So, I mean, what are you gonna do?
Well, you do have that one like right at the top of Colorado. That could be like either state right there.
Where?
That's not Colorado. That's Utah.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
Nebraska.
Somebody flung geography.
sorry, I was looking at the wrong box.
Max is a little
Yeah.
flustered.
I am. It's all my fault.
You know,
But
this
interesting.
reminds me of the Chinese placemat that you
Yes.
used to get.
At the restaurant. This is a year of.
You're born between here and here. This is your creature.
I'm sorry, Paul had a question, I think, or a comment.
No, I thought it was interesting that most of them, the East Coast or the east side of the United States is pretty saturated, so
Right.
interesting that.
Yeah.
Right.
It makes you wonder, people who are out there all crazy, or if they've really seen this stuff. If not, we need to move to the East Coast and have some more fun, apparently, because we're missing out.
Well, it's like New Yorkers. They all start up like, you know,
Right.
upstate, and then they just all move to Florida.
That's right. As they get older, they retire.
But
Yeah.
let me ask you this: you're from Florida, but you didn't know anything
I
about
have
the
never
skunk
heard
Really?
anything about the skunk.
See, even I've heard about that, and I'm in
What'd
the
you
state
call
that
it?
have nothing.
Skunk ape.
skunk ape.
It's basically they're working a Bigfoot. They see it in the Everglades.
It was that video, that clip that you said looked Photoshop, but it was actually a clip from a video
Okay.
of the out in the field
Right.
running. You know, that's
And
skunk
I
ape.
mean, I'm not that far from where the swamp starts either.
Yeah.
Right.
I've never heard of it.
But the weird thing about it too is, I mean, you got a lot of mosh pits out there, moshy land
Marsh
out
a
there.
lot, yeah.
This thing's been known to run across it. I mean, and usually most things will sink to it. You know, this only adds to the the mystery behind it. So it's pretty impressive.
But you would think that Florida would have more of a Loch Ness monster type
Yeah.
rather than a Bigfoot type.
Right.
I mean, we're surrounded by water. There's
Yeah,
lakes,
sides,
streams, and everything
Yeah.
else. So
Yeah. I don't know why. If it migrated down there because of the water, maybe. I mean.
he was tired of New York.
Well, yeah. Right. Who isn't? But I mean, it
I
has.
would
But
go.
it has. I do too, actually. It has all the. I mean, it has water. It has food source. All the fish you can eat around there. Plenty of places to hide in the Everglades. I mean, why not be down there? So
Yeah.
it's warm. I mean, you can
Yeah.
last all year around there comfortably without being undetected. You know? So it's pretty. It's not a bad idea to go hide down there. So we're gonna say something else. You started to say something before that, I thought. Okay.
You just keep throwing me under the bus.
Try to. Bus driver.
No. Which one do you want to start with first?
I just don't know any. Does anybody have their favorites in the room that they want to start with? We can go any direction, all directions.
You see the blank look on Russ'
Okay.
face.
See some.
I'll go with the real one.
What's your son?
He says Jason's the vet. Oh, it's his
No.
No.
At least they spelled it right, so that's good.
It's spelled backwards.
What's LELP mean?
Oh,
Black.
sorry.
Yeah.
Can we tear that, or do you want to say that?
So-
Because that could be worse on you.
Okay.
It could, you know.
What do you want to start with tonight?
I'm up for anything. I looked several up, but
Which one?
Yeah,
pops in your
throw
mind?
some
Yeah,
out.
throw us
We
well,
got
the one I looked up was the Children of the Black Eyes.
Okay, that's a great one. We didn't have any pictures of that. I can put one up real fast. I'll
I
give it
can,
to you.
yeah, if you want
That's a great one.
Man, you threw that,
That
one.
one's-
I was
that one-
expecting that one.
I don't know where I stand on that because I mean, I don't know. It's so easily faked, but
When's the first report of it?
that's a good question.
Well,
Michelle.
there were several. There have
Okay.
been several.
She got some knowledge.
And I didn't look up the.
Oh, Michelle.
I know, I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
I
She
missed
stopped
it.
I'm going
Good
home.
stuff.
Party's over. Well, look while you keep doing that. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, keep talking.
All right.
Okay. Well, the main story that is this woman, her and her husband are at home, and there was a knock on the door, and
Sounds like
they all feel. They said that they all feel really odd, and it's just not comfortable when
Right.
they open the door.
Well, yeah.
And there's always kids there, and they say they need to come in to call. On this particular one, they need to come in the house until their parents came. And she didn't let him in. The husband let him in. And
Oh, wow.
a man,
What? Whoa, hey, now. Okay, go ahead.
And she went in to fix him some hot cocoa or something, and when she came in, he was sitting there holding his head, his nose started bleeding.
Right.
And the cats, they had 4 cats, none of the cats would go in, they were scared to death. Finally, the kids said, well, our parents are here. They went outside, and there were 2 men in black suits, in a black car, that
Okay.
picked the kids up and drove off. And she said since then, 3 of their cats have disappeared. 1 cat died of hemorrhaging in their living room, and their health is just not really good.
Wow.
Where was this?
Vermont.
Vermont.
And he has, what is the cancer, skin cancer,
Uh-huh.
that you get from radiation and stuff.
Really?
He developed that.
So you're saying that the men in black were there?
That's what.
I'm not what?
No, don't jump the gun yet. I'm not
Yeah,
ready
they
for
were at
that
the
yet.
end of the drive.
Right.
When they picked up the kids. That's what they're saying. And there's different stories. There were several stories about kids coming through the door. Most of the time, people just felt too uneasy to let kids
Boy and girl, or is it just like?
I think it's people of all.
It's both.
Yeah, it's not
And-
set.
and
Yeah, here
generally
it's
8 to
showing.
6.
Yeah, here it's showing 8 to 6. It's showing boys or girls, and they're either seen. It shows here in the early 1990s is when they first started appearing. It also talks about they're on the side of the road hitchhiking or panhandling. But in the later 1990s, they're starting to show up on people's doorsteps. Is what it's showing.
And so they have black eyes.
Black
yeah.
eyes, their eyes are
We're
black.
going to get a picture up here in just a second. Sorry. Give me just a second. We'll keep talking. Yeah, it's not like your typical. It's like the white of their eyes are just missing. It's just all black. What's the,
You know, I see that on TV.
What's that? Like I said, it can be easily faked with contacts nowadays. That's why.
Right.
But a child, though, I mean, come on. How many children would be out there roaming for
Right.
a hoax?
I mean,
We
you
don't
can
know.
get contacts, but yeah, I mean, you don't like have children buying and
Yeah.
going and putting those.
Showing here, a lot of them are in Abilene, Texas, and Portland, Oregon.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's some random places. That's
Yeah. Either way, it's creepy. It's all get up. I mean, it's just something. If I saw that, I don't know how I would personally
we
react.
have them downloaded. yet?
Jason.
He's pushing up right now.
History.
Right.
Just looking at some of them. Sorry about that delay. They were trying to figure out some things here just behind it.
Technical difficulties all over.
Should be coming up any minute now. That's the children with the black eyes. Not like until he got
Now-
punched, but
They're not
Actual
coming
eyes.
into the house without being invited, right?
They say that they can't come in unless you invite them.
you have to actually invite them.
Okay.
That's right. I didn't know that much.
No, I
Yeah.
was gonna read up on this.
Yep. Yeah. Go and do it in the middle of the show. That's good.
There you go. Yeah, all your homework during class. You know?
So yeah, if that came to your
I should.
if that came to your door, would you open the door for them and say, "Oh yeah, come
No.
on in, stay a while, let's
I
talk, tell me where your travels have been," you know, kind
I mean,
of
if
a
it
thing.
came up to my door at night anyway, I hated the children of the corn. I wouldn't answer the door anyway.
That's a movie, by the way.
I would want to.
Well, evidently they don't notice it until the kids are inside, and then they see the. Yeah.
Right.
How do you not notice that though? You know, but
I don't. That's.
that would have been my first eerie, indication of like,
Girl,
oh,
where's
no.
your eyes at?
Yeah.
Another problem I have with it is, okay,
How'd you find my house?
throughout history, it's just like, why now in the 90s is this popping up? I don't know.
Well, and here
That's
too,
another-
Is it a hoax or is it real?
and for
What's
people
our-
that are listening, it's not that they're missing the eyes. It's showing they have eyes. They're just
Black.
really black.
Yeah.
You can see the pupils.
Right.
You can still see.
Now, we've been on locations where we're doing actual investigations, and we've seen spirits tend to have this kind of a persona with, hollowed out eyes, but I've never really seen it like physical being that up close like we are. I think we have a question in the studio. Is that right?
This might have been already answered, but I was curious the approximate or age.
8 to, they figure
6 to
16. 8
Oh.
to 16.
So it's not like a baby coming crawling in and saying, "Hey, you got black eyes." It's more of a toddler, or not toddler, but like a
Little
grade
age
school kid,
high
maybe,
school.
Yeah.
up to high school for some reason. You don't see them usually as adults for some reason. I don't know what that signifies, but it is. Yeah, it's usually just a child for some
Can you
reason.
catch?
So
Sure.
I don't understand that either.
Well, it covers quite
Why?
an age
Yeah, that is.
range. That's what I was.
That is.
It doesn't.
Sometimes they want to come in and use the phone. Sometimes they're waiting for their parents.
Now, is it the 90s just because internet was just starting and more
Could
technology
be
was
like
coming
I
and the
said.
stories
Maybe that's
are
why the
just
stories are getting more spread. You're right.
churning? I don't know.
But then, on the same token, how did Bigfoot and Patterson Gimli film get shown across the United States and everything about Bigfoot?
Well, that's because the stories have been around for a lot longer
Right.
than that. And they were talking about it, plus they filmed it, snap photos,
Right.
back in the day. But,
Yeah.
I mean, from Teddy Roosevelt on up. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, that's how that was.
Yeah. No. I know. I'm just saying, but the internet wasn't around then, so.
No, it wasn't. It was, it was
Right.
word of mouth and very true.
Yep.
I just know I wouldn't ever let anyone in that looks like that.
You're fine. No, what
So-
they're saying, most of it says that they have what they call it's called a blown pupil, which looks like their eyes are dilated beyond normal limits. It says it's due to likely increased intracranial pressure, like a brain hemorrhaging, possibly. Which, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. A lot of pressure, strain your eyes. But why are they really actual children, or are they actual spirits, or are they what are they?
And in her story, he said a guy came to the house, picked him up, and drove off with him, right?
Right. Yeah, there were 2 men in black at the
Sorry,
the,
the Men in Black
in
song.
the street, and the children walked out to them. They got in the car and they drove off.
Wow.
Which we'll talk about Men in Black here in a little bit. That was a fun topic. It kind of ties in with everything in a weird roundabout way. I mean, they're interesting. They're not what you think they are. They're not Will Smith dressed up, dancing across the street, telling funny little riffs or whatever, like we do here. They're mysterious. They're peculiar, and we'll show you some stuff here in just a little bit. But it kind of plays into what you said about guy in the suit showing up.
That's interesting.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's cool.
So do you think that they're actual? Are they creatures? Are they entities? What are these children?
My vote would be for aliens.
Aliens?
Aliens?
That's not a bad theory. I mean, that's kind of
That goes kind of with
Men in Black.
the human hybrid cross that a lot of people claim that when they see. There are claims of people seeing a mixed breed of people that were, children from people who have been abducted, and their eyes are always a lot bigger than supplements.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Very possible. People. Sorry,
I was, all again connection to Men in Black. I don't know, but I know Leo wants to talk about that in a little while.
Yeah, we can talk now.
No, or we
We can
can
go anytime you want to. Yeah.
if you want to. We can go right into Men in Black right now.
Why not?
Okay.
Cue music. I'm just kidding. Men in Black. So you've seen the movies. They kind of touch upon the surface of what they are, who they are, possibly. People want to know: is it a government agency? Is it? I mean, there's different theories behind them. There's possibility that they're aliens. They're not of this world. And the reason why people think that is because they all look similar as far as the way they look. Usually, kind of balding or bald. Described as having like a plastic type skin, always wearing the black suits, of course. Sometimes a lot of them have hats on, sunglasses, or whatever, And
They're stylish.
the thing is that they always show up, kind of like the movie, after a report of an alien or a UFO or whatever.
Some kind of mysterious encounter.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of weird things based upon them, around them. Go ahead, do it while you
They
talk.
see the black cars. They're always
Yep.
driving in. I mean, kind of like the movie. Black helicopters have been seen flying around afterwards.
Right.
They always come. They are asking very odd questions to you, stuff like that.
One of the earliest cases that I could find was in 1947. A guy named Harold, I heard something, O'Dowd, witnessed a UFO crashing near, it's called Moray Island in Seattle. He was on a ship, debris actually landed on his ship, it killed his dog, injured his child. He took actual photographs of this supposed incident, and not even a couple of days later, these men in black suits showed up at his door and, kind of asked him about what he's seen, what he experienced. He told them about them, showed them the photographs, they left. Then he noticed, for some reason, all his photographs just turned up missing. So it's like, okay, were they a government agency? Were they sent by something else? I mean, but it was clear enough that it made headlines.
It's interesting that you say that because when we were just talking earlier about the children appearing, it seems like most of the incidences are all the same because two kids are showing up at the door.
Right.
Okay, as pairs.
Right.
Girl, boy. In 3 different occasions, when they came in, they asked if they could use the restroom. And so the parents were letting them use the restrooms, and they said, and they all say the same thing: my parents will be here soon. So in 3 of the stories, they talk about the men in black.
Yeah.
Because when they got done using the restroom, and this is all the people that are telling their stories, they all seem to be the same.
Right.
And they'll come out and find the children in the hallway, and they're saying, "I'm waiting on my parents." And then all of a sudden, one of them came in and said, "Okay, my parents are here."
Right.
They all go to the door. The kids open the door, walk out, and 2 men in black are sitting with their car doors open, and they said they're all about 6 foot plus, skinny, and then the kids get in, they drive off, and it's over. So I'm wondering, but everybody says it's men in black because they're in suits, and you're sitting here talking about the men in black. I wonder if that has anything associated.
Well, one thing too is they always show up in an old style car.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Like from the 50s, kind of like a I don't know,
Like a Chevy,
or a Cadillac or something, whatever. Something
The old
that's
Impalas.
Yeah.
One of them said that they lived in a farmhouse and the driveway was real long.
Really?
And they stood at the end of the driveway, and they said the lady telling the story said it was a really old car, and both doors open, and they get out and stand there, and then the kids with black eyes say, "My parents are here," and they leave, and they get in the car and drive off. Weird.
That is weird. The things I thought were pretty interesting was a couple different things. If you ask them for ID or show them who are you, they only show them a card with security on it. That's all it shows. No picture ID, nothing. It's been reported as something that's their calling card, is not to show you actual identification, which was weird. One thing I also found was the actor Dan Aykroyd was filming a show one time for Sci-Fi Channel about UFOs, and he noticed some men in black suits sitting in a car off in the distance. Didn't come up and say anything to him. But 2 hours later, the production company called and said the show had been canceled, which is kind of eerie and ironic, and he had no knowledge of it, why they canceled it, basically. But it's the fact that it happened after these guys were sitting there. He noticed them physically sitting there off in the distance. So people thought they were actually aliens in disguise, because they all have the weird, like I said, texture, skin, all that stuff. They also said maybe some people, in some things I read about, they thought they might be something having to do with the occult. They thought maybe it's the devil himself, supposedly. And the reason they think that is because there were reports from centuries ago that mentioned these beings in black were, that were Satan, supposedly coming to do whatever they want to do, whatever he was set forth to do, basically, in the instance. They was described as hairless, like I said, plastic skin. We do have a video of them. Supposedly reported men in black on security camera. So when Max queue that up, do you have anything?
No,
video-wise?
I was just I only have pictures, but it's strange that you have Dan Aykroyd
right
filming a documentary on UFOs, what was he capturing? What was he doing that's so different from any other documentary
Right.
or film that this gets shut down?
Why does Ridley Scott get a pass, but Dan Aykroyd doesn't?
Right.
For Alien?
Right.
I'm just saying. But it must have been some of the subject matter he was touching upon was too close to.
Yeah, maybe he was onto
I
something.
mean, yeah, that's why they shot it down, basically.
Interesting.
But get that video up when you have it ready. Should be coming in a second now.
And yeah.
Ours is behind the studio. I apologize to people at home.
Sovar reported that the witnesses described the men as tall with black suits,
So
black
Ghostbusters
hats,
was filmed
identical
in a
faces,
UFO
extremely pale
documentary, and
skin,
it
no
was
eyebrows, no eyelashes, and abnormally large eyes. A woman who spoke with the men claimed that she felt that the men knew what she was
So you
thinking.
see these guys in the black
Is
suits
this video
walking
proof that the
in.
MIB exist? Or is this video simply an internet hoax?
There we go. See these guys? I mean, is there audio? Do you know? There's supposed to be audio with this. Sorry.
Was there supposed to be audio?
Yeah,
I don't think it showed up. Let's try it again.
If not, no biggie. I was gonna see if I can turn it on in the studio here. Gonna try to post it again here.
Back to you guys for a second, and then
Sorry.
boom.
Well, come on.
Sovar reported that the witnesses described the men as tall with black suits, black hats, identical faces, extremely pale skin, no eyebrows, no eyelashes, and abnormally large eyes. A woman who spoke with the men claimed that she felt that the men knew what she was thinking. Is this video proof that the MIB exist? Or is this video simply an internet hoax?
Interesting.
But yeah, it was interesting. I thought just because of the fact that
I mean, that's typical of what you always hear about,
right.
you know. But that was different. That was very interesting.
Just curious, did
Yeah,
you
go ahead.
have where this was filmed,
Right.
what building,
I
and
have to go back and look. Honestly, I just was grabbing stuff earlier, and I'll find it. Give me a second here. I'll pull it up and find out where it came from.
I mean, that could have been two guys going into Wall Street. I mean,
Yeah, it's just that. Yeah, I mean, you take it for what it is. It doesn't, I'm not saying that's actual footage, but the fact they're dressed similar in status or nature, whatever with their
Yeah,
outfit,
it's
they
got the
kind
hat,
of fit
the
that mold.
glasses.
yeah.
Well, that's
They
a-
look very pale in the face. I mean, they look very odd going through.
They also look huge.
Yeah, well, they're all reported to be over 6 feet high.
Well, it's
6'2",
interesting. I wonder if that has something
6'6",
to do with the kids, because in all those three stories I read, it's
Right.
men in black suits.
Yeah, that's what she was saying.
Right.
too,
And they're
when
all
they came
over
out.
6 foot.
Definitely. I mean, they all have the same. I mean, they're not like, well, go to the movie itself, Men in Black. I mean, you have Will Smith, who's African American. You have what's his name?
Tommy Lee.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones, who's white. But in this case, in actuality, they're all similar features, similar everything. There's not like one guy. One thing I also heard about it when I was reading some of the stuff earlier, they went by numbers instead of letters. It was Agent 9 and Agent 10. That's what they were calling themselves. And one.
So now you're saying
one number.
007 is part of Men in Black?
You tell me. So it just adds to the mystery as far as I'm hoping if we keep talking about this, maybe some Men in Black will show up on our doorstep
I'm
one
waiting for
day.
the two
and-
kids to show up and they start
Yeah,
knocking on the
I really,
door.
that's why I put this video in here, just because I was hoping, hey,
You never know.
what's the worst could happen, right? Delete your
Well-
files, okay, thanks, bye.
Well, I hope they come and visit you tonight.
Yeah,
when you're
that's
home.
what I'm thinking, because it said too, it says it's normally couples, like they're by themselves. It's not like a family.
Oh.
It's, yeah.
Interesting.
So you're fine.
Well, not this week.
Oh,
I don't know.
great.
It's-
Well, in that video, there was a
Can I go
man
home
that
with you?
walked by. I was trying to see what his reaction to him were.
Right? Did you see that too? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you look at him?
They-
Paul?
well, he just kind of moved over
He
to the
kind of
left
dodged
and
to the
dodged.
side and then went to the door to like get into
But
security.
you never see him look back like,
Right.
what was that?
Right.
I mean,
Really famous. paying much attention.
They probably did the light thing.
But they
real quick.
did. But they, as you see them walk through, they're very prominent and they're walking through.
Yeah, they
That
don't
person
hesitate.
dodges them to go around.
Right.
Did you see that? They
Yeah,
just walk
yeah.
in
You
like
just
they
kinda
own
move
the
out of the
like
way.
they own the room. Divas.
Like I said, this could be just two guys. Hey,
Yeah.
maybe they're twins walking in, happen to wear blacks. I mean,
Right.
you can't. You take it for face value. I mean,
But
it's not-
exactly, this is just someone saying this is.
They just say
The
it's
guys.
Right.
actually
Yeah.
them caught on camera.
But it's it's pretty neat to look at. I mean, to be honest, I mean, how often do you see video footage?
Yeah, the
of-
visual to someone's
right.
planes
Right.
with this.
And most of the time, I'm assuming they're smart enough to know not to be caught on camera or whatever. They're supposed to be mysterious, but this one instance, they just happen to get caught. If it's them, I mean, in fact, we don't know. Just that Mr. Ben's camera caught him off guard. Did you have a photo you posted? You said?
No,
Of
no,
people?
no,
Oh,
not
okay.
none of them.
So what do you know about them? I know you were kind of talking about how you said they're not what people think they are.
They're always
What's
coming
your take?
around. I mean, you have the idea that they could most likely be alien or some kind of I wouldn't want to say it's government officials. I mean, it just
Right.
seems very odd for that aspect. And then it all kind of ties into another story, which we'll get to.
Okay.
Which is, I don't know if any of you have heard of Indrid Cold.
Yes.
I know you.
But you
In-
may have
Indrid-
once you go more into it.
Yeah, Indrid Cold. Anybody heard of that?
I said I
Indrid
did.
Cold.
I have those in my email today.
Yes,
Yep.
I did email that.
Yeah.
Indrid Cold was a very interesting phenomenon. It's a. Do you have a picture?
Yeah.
Okay.
I put a picture of
That,
that.
he's also known as the Grinning Man.
Yep. Which is not grinning in this picture. It's supposedly reported that this is a photo of him captured. So we shall see if it is or isn't. Sorry, we had
This is.
It's really picture broke, guys. It's
it's roped in a men in black suit.
It happened in the 60s.
66.
Well,
to
he's
be
not really
exact.
grinning. I don't know. Is that really him?
That's what they reported. I've
Because
seen
he's not
pictures.
even grinning.
That's what I said. The
You
picture
know.
I've seen
He's not even
supposedly, it's a real Joker-esque smile where it's almost
Yeah.
ear to ear.
But it happened in the 1960s. November 2nd, 1966.
Ooh, the cheap pants, man.
It was in Parkersburg, West Virginia, when this gentleman was seen in town. He was over 6 feet tall. He was wearing a black suit. Sometimes it was even in a kind of a reflective suit. He was walking around town. He was approaching people. They said that when he spoke to them, his lips never moved, and he was always kind of smiling at them, like it was like a prominent smile. It was frozen, but yet they could hear him talking, whether it was
I'm sorry, what was that?
It's
Did you
ESPN.
say Jello, J-E-L-L?
He was using his mind to talk to them.
Telepathy is
Thank
the
you.
word he was trying to say.
But he was
Telepathic.
seeing telepathic. Thank
All right,
you.
go ahead.
I can say that. He was walking
My
into stores. There's one claim where he walks in, goes right up to the counter. They're asking him, "Can we help you?" And he was mesmerized by the pencil that was on the counter, and he just kept staring at it and staring at it. All the while, he has a smile on his face, very pale in skin, black suit, and he's just staring. Now, this was all occurring at the same time that there's something else going on in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, which is a town not that far away.
Yep.
There's a gentleman who even was driving down the highway when his car is stopped, and he is approached by a figure who matches the description, in black, smiling face, comes over and talks to him. There is the possibility of him coming off of a ship.
Yep.
That was seen off in the distance. Is it connected to UFOs or anything like that? It's hard to say. Yes, sir?
This is actually ties into a very old fairy tale about ghouls called the Gentlemen, who are men in suits, bald, black, thick skin, who have a double-ish ring.
Right.
Wow.
So I found that interesting.
That is
Cool.
that is.
I've never heard that before, but
I
that's
mean,
interesting.
It was a Buffy episode. That's the only reason I remembered it. I'm not gonna lie.
Nerd
I swear, it popped in my head, and I was like, "Oh wait,
That's on Buffy.
Yes.
Judge
He
me."
did. He did. That's what I said earlier. Yeah, people think he's alien,
Right.
which you talked about the ship possibly. Which is
Yeah,
interesting.
because there is that hint that he was coming off from a ship, and when he disappeared, there were lights in the sky. Now, with that,
Okay.
with that, that was in Parkersburg, West Virginia. Now, when I said Point Pleasant, West Virginia, about
Yep.
the same time, there are sightings of what is called the Mothman.
Yep. Which everybody's seen that
Has
movie. I don't think.
anybody seen that?
I've heard.
Roth is so out.
No.
I think they had documentary.
Right.
I must have been real busy back in those days. I am not.
I don't wanna hear
This has
Right,
been
right,
around for a while, and you're part of the group, man.
Not anymore. It ain't.
Fire.
But so anyway, you have the Mothman that's happening at the same time. The Mothman, if you want to talk,
Muffin?
you want to talk about it, or you want
Yeah. Well, the thing is, and I'll kind of wrap it up here in a minute with that, is the whole Ingrid Cole and Mothman, the reports only lasted a good solid year,
Right.
from 66 to 67. And we'll go in a little bit more depth in that as to
And
why.
I sent him pictures. I sent you the face of Indra Cole too.
Oh, the
And the one that is the
Right.
smiling face. And I sent you some Mothman pictures too.
Right.
Because the Mothman, so he's going to show you Indra Cole, another picture of him.
Those eyebrows, though.
Huh?
Those eyebrows, though.
Hey, you know. There's also the man with the funky eyebrows that's connected to the JFK
Yep.
assassination too.
So,
But this is the picture that everyone,
it's been circulated, right?
has seen this.
Yep.
Again, who is he? They don't know, but this is the
Right.
face. Now, this is who they are saying is talking to them, but his lips are not moving, and he's just staring in, but yet you hear his voice. I guess it kind of matches the guy with the sunglasses.
I mean, that picture, there's just somebody reported that said that was
Right.
him. I'm not saying that 100% it was, because I mean,
Right.
who knows? I mean, nobody knows who he is.
Right.
But kind of going back to Mothman, shortly after the whole Indra Cole, the grinning man, people start seeing this guy walking around, mysterious guy that doesn't really have a purpose or place in this town. In Point Pleasant, West Virginia, all of a sudden people start seeing this winged, large creature, 7 feet tall, red eyes, with like a bat kind of, appearing out of nowhere. One of the first cases, pay attention.
I know.
Just kidding. Just giving Jason a hard time. Hey, I wasn't here last week. I got to pick up for missed time. Like I said, basically, one of the first sightings they had, actually, one of the first known sightings of the Mothman was there was a group of men, grave diggers, who were out actually digging a grave, and they happened to hear this, look up and saw this winged creature flying overhead of them, and they said it let out the biggest screeching sound that they ever heard, and it just freaked them out. Then, of course, this just kind of ties into the movie. A few days later, a couple in a car witnessed this creature flying at them when they're driving down the road, and what's on screen right now basically is what they reported seeing.
This one.
Yep, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
because I
the
think
one.
it said what the
Yeah.
wingspan was over 7
7
feet.
And people are that. It's even chased cars. It's
Right.
even chased after and flying after cars.
Yep.
There's so many people in around Point Pleasant that were actually having that happen to them. So they claim.
Yeah, and over 200 people had reportedly seen this creature at some point during that year's time. They all had the same. Everybody tried to sketch this thing out, and it all looked the same. Kind of black circle scratches, real scratchy looking wings, look kind of demonic in a way with red eyes, always with red eyes. That's the thing that reported everybody stuck out to them most were the red eyes.
They were
Is that
seeing.
because of mainly the headlights? Because if they're driving and
They were seeing it outside their. Keep up, man.
Yeah.
Know the story. No, they were seeing it outside their house too.
Yeah.
Like they're looking out their kitchen windows, front doors.
Yeah.
They were seeing it like it was standing in front of their in their driveway,
Right.
or out behind a tree or something like that.
Yeah. And then, kind of what ties it all up is on December 15th, 1967, the Silver Bridge collapses.
And you've got a picture of that.
The odd thing about it, many of the victims that were taken, their lives were taken, were relatives of those that reported the Mothman. So, you talk about it, all of a sudden they all happen to be on this bridge at that given time.
Yeah, December 15th, 1967.
And they pass away, yeah. So it's kind of eerie. I mean, to think it's like there's the bridge, Silver Bridge collapsing. After that, no more sightings of the Mothman. No real reported sightings of the Mothman or Indrid Cold.
Yeah, and there were several deaths that happened on that because it was during rush hour and several cars just fell into the river.
And the movie they brought out with Richard Gere and Laura Linney was actually pretty good, pretty close to it. I mean, as far as the stories go. Of course, Emmy Hollywood, some scenes. One of my favorite parts is the phone calls that they keep happening. It's real alienist, robotic, scratchy kind of a thing. They had a nice little touch to that. Supposedly, it's Indrid Cold calling the Richard Gere, the victims, or whatever. And it's a fascinating story, but I mean, it's one of the creatures out there that everybody knows. Yeah, it's a good show. It's been on TV.
It's called the Mothman Prophecy.
Yes, sir.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's
I
really
have it, actually.
Yep. Crazy stuff out there. I mean, it's just one of our folklore history.
Now that for the Mothman, do you think that's connected to any other type of flying creature?
Well, it's funny you say that because there is the infamous Jersey Devil. I mean, it sounds a lot alike. Before we move on to Jersey Devil, I want to talk about the Mothman. One last thing. They talked about, there was that whole factory thing, where in Point Pleasant, it used to be a bird, I don't know what it's called, some kind of bird structure.
That's the picture I'm just gonna say, yeah.
Like a bird, I don't want to say, I think the word I'm looking for. A place where they bred birds and stuff like that, and kept them in this one location. And
Aviary?
Yeah, maybe that's what it is, but at one point, this factory, and that's where a lot of the reported sightings happened. Well, people were wondering, maybe it's a bird, some kind of migratory bird, maybe it's just something, people were calling it, maybe it's a crane, it's a certain type of crane that had about a 7-foot wingspan, and, if it's coming around the same factory, the bird, what would you call it again?
Well, that's where they keep birds aviary.
Okay, maybe it's one of those things. Like I said, yeah. If it centers around that one spot, maybe that's what they're thinking. It may just been bird, but why they don't see it anymore is a big question to ask. But moving on to Jersey Devil, that kind of resembles the same type of creature. Same thing, red eyes.
Right.
People would describe it as being like a kangaroo type creature.
I'll show you a picture here in a second. It's
Yeah, this story is kind of far-fetched to me, but
I don't know. That's what a lot of people have seen.
Yeah, they would describe it as goat-like, kangaroo with wings.
That looks like a camel to me.
Have a devilish head with horns usually. Lets out a blood-curdling scream. We'll play a video here with sound here in just a second that talks about Jersey Devil. There's two of them, the better-known cases or supposedly videos of them. Once we have it up and running, let me know. We'll keep it on a few minutes.
The photo you're looking at was caught on a deer cam. A hunter was hunting the outskirts of Pine Barren in New Jersey when he ended up falling asleep, but still leaving the deer cam and animal alert on. At around 3:22 a.m. he heard his animal alert go off. He heard all kinds of noises, and when he zoomed in with his rifle scope, he saw nothing. He then checked his deer cam and was shocked to see snapshots of a strange creature hunting a deer. He instantly believed it was the local legend of the Jersey Devil he had caught on camera. This photo was probably the most widely spread Jersey Devil sighting out there. It was taken by Dave Black. Of the alleged sighting, he said the following: "I was just driving past a golf course in Galloway on Route 9 and had to shake my head a few times when I thought I saw a llama. If that wasn't enough, then it spread out leathery wings and flew over the golf course. I swear it's not photoshopped or a staged thing. People have said it's fake, but it's not. I'm honestly just looking for an explanation for what I saw. Black said he grabbed his phone to snap as many pictures of the creature as possible, but only one showed the animal in flight.
Because you can see almost two horns there.
Yeah,
right
there's
there.
the horns,
But,
yeah.
but are you seeing through the wings?
I don't know.
You know, like you can almost see the trees and then through it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
supposedly this is a good photo that turned out the ones he took.
yeah, I seen this one on the internet. And
Yeah.
it made me laugh.
Looks like he had a little beard too, so
And I did send you another one that's recently that's from the highway. Have you
That's
seen
what I
that?
had loaded up, and then we went to
I'll
the
show you.
video.
I don't know.
What's that? Yeah.
I'll put it on. I'll see if I've seen it.
So this is one that's circulating here in just a moment. That's circulating the internet as well as the flying goat. But this one is being seen from a car as they're driving. Could it be Photoshop? Sure. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, I seen that one.
That one.
Yep. I was hoping to find one that was actual movement.
I don't know.
I can never find a video of it.
It's fascinating. I mean, it's cool.
This guy swears up and down this one's 100% real too. They were just taking pictures. Once he saw it, it kind of caught his eye. Good.
My only question is, why are you snapping photos while you're just driving down a rainy road?
Yeah, there's so
Yeah.
many what ifs.
So
Or maybe he previously saw it and then it
Could
came
have,
up,
could
right?
have,
Maybe.
Or
yeah.
something, you know?
I mean, there's a lot of unanswered questions we don't know.
Could have.
Yeah, it's hard
To
to
me,
say.
that photo doesn't really say much. I mean, just looking at,
yeah,
it's pretty fuzzy. It
yeah.
could be a legitimate bird.
It could be a bird. It could
So
be
where was the picture taken?
that particular one. I can't remember the exact spot. Most of them are East Coast, out by New Jersey. That's what it's called, the Jersey Devil.
Yeah, the Jersey. Yeah.
Like, I noticed there's a road that you travel on, and maybe that road, that's where a lot of the sightings occur. It's all forests on both sides, real dense forests. I know there's been quite a few shows. Expedition Unknown went out and did something. They caught something on FLIR with the heat signature. It looked like it. And then there's another one. Paranormal State did one, which I don't know anymore about that show. Since Ryan Buell
Yeah.
has gotten so much trouble on his own for the stuff he's done, so I hate to give him credit for anything. So, but still, he got something that looked like a deer, but it looked like it also had the wings.
Did Destination Truth do one?
Yeah, that's it. I said Expedition. No, I meant Destination Truth. Yeah, that one I trust a little bit more because I mean yes, it's entertainment, but I mean he tries to find all rule out anything that's not going to be useful.
We like Josh Mead.
Yeah,
So.
big fan of his. Yeah.
I mean,
Plus,
looking
yeah,
at this,
Chris Williams on there. If you go
looking at this picture, I don't know what would make him think, oh, that's the Jersey Devil, because I mean, I'm looking at it and I would have been like, that's a damn dragon. Like,
It does have the wings
Yeah.
kind of cut out that look like a dragon.
yeah, and its head looked shorter, but in the other picture, it looked like.
I
it looked
wonder
like a
though,
kid.
because they make fruit bats or whatever like that are huge.
They have like
Yeah.
a 6-foot wingspan.
Yeah, I
believe.
mean it could have been a bat.
I mean, there's so many creatures out there that you don't know if they're a morph, or what do we call it, two animals put together, basically,
Right.
that
The
whatever.
circulation of the story.
And there's so many undiscovered creatures that they're discovering everywhere, sea, land, that we probably don't know it's out
Oh
there.
jeez, the ocean freaks me out. When I see everything that's swimming around. I mean, I saw a video of a fish that had legs that was walking.
Yeah.
It's on the bottom of the ocean and it was walking. That,
I'll pass.
yeah, that freaked me out when I saw
They've
that.
got some crazy stuff.
And it's stuff that we're finding new every day. So
Right.
So then, what are your thoughts on the story of the 12 kids that she had, and that being the 13th one? Is that what you hit?
On the Jersey Devil?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about
Yeah.
Yeah, because it
Folklore
goes
Runner?
back and it talks, I think,
I
about
gotcha. Yep.
the husband, or she wasn't the mom into witchcraft,
Yeah, or something
and then
like that.
supposedly
Satanic,
they
yeah.
said her husband's the devil himself. And
Right.
The 13th child
Yeah,
was born with a kangaroo and goat head or something like that.
That is a story out there, but then is it just one person, one child running around doing all these sightings? I mean, possibly, but I mean,
It flies pretty fast.
yeah, I don't know, because it's been known to be seen on top of the treetops of the forest.
That's why I was wondering about the story of
Running
where they've
across
seen the
the-
pictures, because if they're only seen in Jersey, then maybe so.
And each state probably has something similar to it. They just name it something different.
and the Mothman type creature has been seen not just in West Virginia,
Right.
it's been seen in Washington and Texas, you know, pretty much stretching all
Yeah.
across that people are seeing.
Once again, how much is a hoax? How much is real? Is
That-
that
well,
all? I mean, we don't know.
How much, yeah, are they seeing one thing, thinking it is another,
Right.
and the story just getting twisted?
Just popping. Oh yeah, I remember a story about that.
But that's like another creature that we're going to talk about in a little bit that started not even in this country and
Yeah.
then started getting popular.
Right, we can go into
Yeah.
that now. I mean, because it's kind of ties in. It looks similar. Or we can say something
No,
else.
no, no,
but
go ahead. I'm just like, wait, my point, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's similar in structure, featured, the way it looks. I mean, we're talking about the infamous chupacabra. Started out in Puerto Rico. One of the first earlier sightings that reported.
Just that in Puerto Rico, in the mid 1970s is when they started noticing that the animals were getting and
Right.
livestock was getting slaughtered.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until the 1990s,
Yeah,
mid 90s,
95. Yep.
yeah, 1995 when it was actually first reported.
It was.
So again, it was the 90s.
There was a killing of like an
Yeah.
8 sheep on a farm, and so what, right? It's an animal attack, but the way it was killed, the blood sucker, you know, kind
He's
of a
cute
thing.
though.
This is just a picture I found. This is basically what people were first reporting,
Right.
and just a quick drawing of it.
Yep.
They were seeing red eyes, lizard-like skin. It was
Right.
walking on 2 feet.
Yep.
Scales. It had like spikes
Yep.
going down its back.
Only on his tail. Yeah. Red eyes, hairless,
You know,
kind of a long snout.
if you ask me, does not look like a dog. I'm just
But
throwing
that's
that out there.
That's the infamous video that everybody has, is the videos of dog-like creatures, and there's one on here from a police officer down in Texas,
Have you seen it?
dash cam footage.
I saw about
They,
six.
It went from being a Puerto Rico thing to now being that is what is people are finding out in Texas, and they're
To me, it's just wild. Like you said earlier, we're not talking wild,
Well,
mangy dog.
It was
Dog thing,
in 2010, the University of Michigan actually said that all these creatures that they're finding are nothing but coyotes with mange.
Yep. Yep.
And if you watch the video of the police chase,
So wild dog.
it looks just like a wild dog. Yes, when it turns its head, it has a long snout.
That almost looks similar to that video I sent you guys on
Yeah.
the chat line.
Yeah.
Oh, with the
person.
human that was.
On
Do
all
you-
fours.
Do you have the video for
Yeah.
that?
You got the chupacabra dog, right? Or chupacabra.
See, and
Yeah.
this happened
Dash
a
cam.
few years ago,
Yep.
several, 6, 7 years ago.
I'm seeing it, but I don't believe it. It's in the daytime.
I've been patrolling these back roads for a long time, and I've never run across anything like this until that day.
Last Friday, hours before sunset,
But,
Corporal
you know,
Brandon
you're
Riedel and his
asking what
partner
people are
were
seeing in
checking
Puerto
fence
Rico
lines near
to what they're
Cuero
seeing
when
in
they stumbled
Texas.
across the alleged creature of the night.
We came around a corner and saw this running down the road.
Riedel says it's hairless with a long snout, short front legs, and long back legs.
It's just strange.
I'm seeing it, but I don't believe it. It's in the daytime.
I've been patrolling these back roads for a long time, and I've never run across anything like this until that day.
Last Friday, hours before sunset, Corporal Brandon Riedel and his partner were checking fence lines near Cuero when they stumbled across the alleged creature of the night.
We came around a corner and saw this running down the road.
Riedel says it's hairless with a long snout, short front legs, and long back legs.
It's just strange.
They did catch a real quick glimpse of
They'll-
it turning
they'll
to the side.
right.
I think they show it right here. They slow
unusual
it.
smell.
And they will
They
stop
slowed
it.
down, I believe. Freeze it, if I remember right.
Because that's their point too. When they
not.
they show it, they're like, "Oh, it's got a long snout. It's a different creature. It's not anything known." But now they're showing up on properties, and people are capturing them.
Yeah.
And we're not going to show it, as Leo was telling me, also because the fact that we don't want to like show any dead animals. Or anything.
Yeah.
But that, of course, that one that was shown in the freeze form, that was a stuffed. It's in a museum out in Texas. They actually have that with blue eyes and all mange. It's just a coyote.
So that's supposedly a stuffed animal?
No,
that's real footage. That one dirt off.
I'm sorry, the picture that...
Oh, the first one?
The very first one.
Oh,
That's in a museum.
That's taxidermy.
Yeah.
That one.
That one. They actually have that. You can go see it.
Well, that wouldn't be its real eyes if it was stuffed anyway, because they would.
Right. That's what they claim it looked
Right.
But that is a far cry from what people were reporting and seeing on the roads and in the fields out in Puerto Rico.
Right.
But yet in Texas,
So they have a mange problem.
this is what they're reporting, but they can't ever capture one and keep it alive for some reason.
See, the one I did see, the footage of one that supposedly was captured, it looked, I don't know what it looked like. It looked more like a rat dog in a way, but it was big. I mean, it's pretty decent sized, and they saw it up in the tree. They had this little stand there with like some kind of like, it was nailed onto a tree, this stand was. And the husband's a good old boy. He was talking about it, how he captured it and all this stuff, and they were feeding the corn. They have it on video where they were feeding this thing. And the thing I didn't know about, it threw me off a little bit, is the thing reached up in the cage and grabbed it. Dogs can't do that as far as I know, right? I mean, I know they have paws, right? So they should be able to just touch it. Well,
their paws kind of go up like this.
This had pinnable
but they
thumbs.
don't. But they don't.
Or opposable thumbs, they could actually physically grab it. They just grab it to the cage. It looked like, anyways. The video's real grainy. That's why I didn't give it to you. But things down in Texas, it's kind of, the story is even more how they said they're known as bloodsuckers. You hear about they're going on farms, and the thing is, the puncture wounds they're finding on these animals that are slaughtered, or there's 3 puncture marks, and it's always the main artery. It seems like the blood is sucked out, and it's kind of goes like, it kind of ties in with the whole, what's it called, cows or
cattle mutilation.
Yeah, there you go. It's kind of like that, and they can't figure out these animals. Well, people were saying, oh, it's a wolf, but it's a dog. And one case had a guy was talking about it, said it's impossible. This fence was too tall, and there's no way any animal will get over this fence. He didn't say anything about under it, but not over it. There's even reports as far as Russia. I mean, on this.
There is a big one actually in Africa. For the chupacabra, it's a bat-like creature, similar to what we were showing for like the Mothman.
Right.
Yeah. But scaly skin, probably about the size of a fruit bat. I believe Destination Truth also did an episode on that as well.
Yep, definitely. I don't know. I've always thought it was a dog personally myself. I mean, just like you said, a dog with mange, and just.
That's what when they test the animals that they have captured, and that's all it turns out to be is a coyote with mange.
Yep, mange. Yep, you're right. Most of the reports that I've seen. Even
they're testing like DNA.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they have the corpses. Because there's several. I mean, you go online and you can see photographs of them dead on the ground.
Yep.
Because they either shoot them or they capture them, can't keep them alive because they're not either one feeding them or letting them drink. So because they just want to. For some people, I wonder if it's just for all publicity and a stunt for them.
We had a question from the audience asking what's the most recent updated reported case of the chupacabra.
Oh, geez.
I think they happen daily. I mean, recently, not saying every day, but any given day, it happens.
Down in Texas, it's as recent as within the last 5 years.
Yeah.
They were seeing them. I mean, that dash cam video happened.
It was 2008, I want to say.
Yeah, 2008.
Or 6 or something. It was recently.
It was about 2008 because that's when I remember watching that.
Yeah, me too.
It was around that time.
Yep.
So.
But I don't know. I mean, do they exist? I mean, they're supposed to be mythical creatures supposedly, but apparently they're everywhere. So
it just floors me that it's such a different. It looks like a dog, but then you talk to anybody in Puerto Rico or in South America, Africa, and it's so different. It's a scaly looking lizard creature and in what you said out in Africa, it's like a bat looking creature. So
it's anywhere a cross between a dog and a wolf, basically. It all boils down to its size wise. It's a bigger dog or a wolf.
Do you think that would have any correlation with like werewolf sightings?
Probably. I mean, I can very well, but usually werewolves are hairy. See, these are supposed to be hairless.
Sure.
You know?
It's
So
not
I'm just
really a
saying.
werewolf with mange.
Yeah. So.
Poor werewolf.
But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those cases, or one of those things. It's one of the more famous ones, like kind of like Dirty Devil, kind of like Bigfoot, that are out there that people, a lot of reported or cited with these things, and they're migrating to the U.S. supposedly to Texas a lot. That's where they think they would range down in Texas. So, anything else on that or subject or?
I don't know. I just don't. Nah.
I'm saying dog for now.
Yeah, I still say dog.
Yeah, too.
I
Dog
think
or
what I think what people are seeing further south, you know, it's a totally different creature than what people in Texas are seeing and shooting or whatever they're doing.
All in favor say woof.
Yeah.
I know some people were claiming that they were just a hybrid of some kind of dog, wolf, whatever, coyote,
Could
kind of
be.
animal, and that's why they look the way they look, the longer snout, the dog-like features. I mean, they're all pretty closely related. So,
But for the reason of no hair, at least, you know, like I said, Michigan University, they said it was mange. It was covered. The tissue had mange all in it.
Yep.
And any veterinarian can test that, you know. I mean, I work for a veterinarian. We did that all the time.
And there is a hairless dog that comes from South
Chihuahuas.
Well, there's also the
Bigger
crescent.
hairless.
I think
Crescent
Chihuahuas are
Japanese
aliens
something
anyway.
something.
I don't think I've ever touched a Chihuahua that didn't bite me.
Yeah,
So,
pretty. The little dogs are pretty aggressive. So.
not hating on them, just they're mean.
Yep. Keep the little dogs. Yep. So, what famous or infamous thing you want to talk about?
You know
next?
what? I want to talk about Loch Ness.
Yeah. Why not?
How about that, guys?
Do
I'm
it.
down.
Now, you've heard of Loch Ness, right?
Good old Nessie.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, roast it.
Seen pictures? Have you seen pictures? Because they're all over.
Oh yeah, they're all.
So everybody knows about Loch Ness.
Yep.
What do you know about it?
Originated in Scotland, I think it is. That's where Loch, is that what it's called? That's what it's called, Loch
Yeah,
Ness?
Loch Ness.
Yeah. So that's the area it's originated from. There's an infamous photo that everybody's seen that has the thing protruding from the water with the head. Looks kind of like a big serpent,
Yes.
but this thing's over what, 30 feet long or something, possibly.
Could be, or longer.
Different reports.
There's been so many reports that have come out with it. Not just in Loch Ness. That's just the famous one when you think about a lake or a sea creature. You know, everyone thinks about Loch Ness.
Right.
There's a photograph of a
Right.
daylight color photo. What is that coming out of the water? Who knows?
It's happy to see you though.
Smile to the camera.
I knew somebody in the group would say something like that. But no, you have that photograph, but they have done, just speaking of Loch Ness and stuff, they've done everything from scuba diving to doing going down with sonar, where they have taken pictures of what looks like a fin from a typical sea creature.
Yep. People wonder why can't you get on video like in underwater? Well, most of that water is murky. I mean, so it's not going to be clear conditions. It's cold. It's hard to stay down there long enough to try to film this thing.
It's very dark.
Yep,
Very dark.
murky.
And they say that for the loch, the sides of it just go straight down. So there's no like slanting in to the loch. That it just goes down immediately. There's shipwrecks down there. There's all kinds of stuff like that. Stories go back a long ways with Loch Ness. Now, the loch itself is a gigantic, I mean, think of it as a very beautiful, very large lake. It does have a break in it where they can open up and allow ships and other stuff to come in every so often. So, is there a creature that was caught in there at one time? Hard to say. But the claims of it, I mean, you've got photographs. I mean, there's a number of people with good backgrounds, you know, from pastors, preachers, all that, who have claimed been out there to see it.
Right.
Here is the famous photograph that everyone knows about Loch Ness.
Right.
This is the picture that got me to fall in love with the idea, hey, there's a sea creature. The only problem is years later, the guy who took the photograph, as he's dying, him and his buddies claim that they had faked it.
Wasn't it like a submarine?
It was a toy submarine with a neck that they put on there.
It also looks like that big, though.
It does, because when you put it like in that photograph, it does. It looks like a pond with a little toy in it.
Yeah.
But that's the picture that everybody thinks of when they think of Loch Ness. But there's been other photographs where they have seen large, gigantic figure in the water. Let me see if he's changing it to. Which one are you sending it to?
The only other one you sent me.
Gotcha.
In that email.
So this is the castle that's over there at the loch.
Right.
And if you can compare the castle to the creature in the water, that's huge. That's not just a tiny little object.
There was reports that could be possibly garbage floating in the water, but it looked like it was moving when I saw the video of it. I mean, it was actual.
Yeah. You actually, in some, you can see the wake on some footage. You can, you can kind of see it in that too. There's a bit of the wake coming from the object, so it's actually moving.
This one looks like an older photo.
That is a very old photo. That is a very old photo. Let's see if I have. That's 1934. So that's how long it I mean, they've been seeing this creature from at least around that time, and there's people that are actively searching for it because of the reports of it being on camera, or I mean on the land. They've even had stories of it on the land itself. People have walked up on it, and it scurries off back into the water like a walrus or something, just moving off. They always claim it has a long neck. Did you get the pictures of the corpses? So there are pictures that were done that show what looks like the corpse of a body. Let's see which one of these things are, because there's a couple of photographs that to me are interesting. One of these days, there it is. This was taken not. This is video footage taken at the bottom of Loch Ness. And it was just a few years ago when they did that. They were doing an expedition trying to figure out if they can find it. And what it looks like, you can see the body and the head and neck, is that Nessie dead at the bottom of the loch. Some say no, it's just a ship.
Picture.
It's an expedition. It's a group of people with cameras down below, a little submarine that was going around, and they took it. Now, is that just a shipwreck? Who knows? But it was enough for them to kind of say, well.
So, okay, my question there is like, okay, so are they close to this, or is that something that they took from a ship and zoomed in?
They're on a ship and they have cameras and a little submarine all the way down.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, because I'm thinking if they're close to that, why not touch it? Why not?
No, they're not down there in a scuba diving suits or anything.
It just seems like, on my opinion, on the Loch Ness, is there seems to be.
Then you have this photograph that was taken in 1977 off of New Zealand. This is a fishing boat that it was a Japanese fishing boat that picked this up on their line. They pulled it up, and they said it was a rotting corpse, and it had the long neck and head. You can see the fins to it. They couldn't keep it, of course, because they had nowhere to put it on, and they weren't going to put it with their fresh fish that they had stocked away, because it was a rotting corpse. So they took this photograph and then dumped it back over. Don't know why they never took any samples, or why they never did. But again, it's the whole, what do you do in circumstances when you're freaked out? But this is a fascinating photograph, and I've always loved this photograph, even though it's disgusting looking. But it shows the typical creature that everybody says they see. So, I don't know. I mean, this goes back centuries with people out on the ocean, from pirates to, you know, all the travelers. They were always talking about sea creatures coming up. I mean, it wasn't that long ago when they found the giant squid. You know,
the myth and legend of it.
The myth and legend. Now, it's not
real. Like,
it's not as big as the, you know, taking down Jack Sparrow's ship or anything like that. But you know, they have it. They have it on camera now, attacking sharks. You know, it's as big as a great white, and it's attacking the sharks. And so,
you see like a 15, 16-foot squid. I mean,
yeah,
it's pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, they're finding out that some of these creatures are real. So, who's to say that some of these creatures that could be just left over from, or they're redeveloping? Who knows? But left over from that era of dinosaurs, still living around.
I don't know.
Weren't they talking that they thought that beings had their, if you look at the bottom of Loch Ness, it's bare. There's
there is nothing down there.
Nothing, and there's not enough fish to. So could they be coming in an underground tunnel to breed?
No,
or
I mean that's a good question. That's a good question, because I don't think they've even truly explored the entire thing and mapped it out. I mean, maybe they have, but everything that I always watch, they never have. They do have, you know, where it opens up, and they have ships that come in from the ocean, you know, that come in. So is something coming through there, or like you said, a tunnel? Who knows?
Something underground, and they come in. Maybe they give birth there. You know.
You know, and yeah, and some say that it's just nothing more than creatures that you see. What is it? Manatee. A manatee. They always say, you know, it could be that, because it does have that same. It has the kind of the tail, you know, the flipper tail. It has the humps. It can do the humps in the water. So.
But the only manatee I heard that was in Florida.
Yeah, I mean, they come from the ocean, so I don't know.
I don't know, there seems to be a lot of hoaxes on there. I know I was watching a deal a while back where they said, like, I think his name was George Edwards. You know, he'd taken a picture, and they thought that that was a really good one. He's a captain. Come to find out, he said it was a hoax. You know, so that, I don't know. There's a lot of hoaxes out there, you know, when it comes to that creature. And,
well, yeah.
You know, my theory comes back to everything, you know, why did they find them?
But they have photographs, as you can see right here. They have photographs ranging from many years of this. And like that picture of the castle, that's from the 30s. You know, that's somebody who was able to have a camera, and they would have had to like have it.
But
already.
It still doesn't really show anything. I mean, it's a black object. It doesn't.
Well, that was in 1934. You know, so you're not going to be able to see much with that photograph. You're seeing a very large object moving through the water, and they could have been watching that from a very long distance, moving through. You know, because you can on that photograph you can tell it was moving. You know,
right, but to me it doesn't look like anything. That's just my opinion. You
well,
know,
no,
it looks
of course
like
it does. I mean, you're looking from a very far away, but they were trying to compare the image in the water to the castle. The castle's huge. Plus you have that and that's just not just a simple log going down. That was taken from far away.
But are there like whales? Are there, you know, those things are huge. That could have been I mean,
yeah, but
how did that get through? That's the thing. How did it get through?
Couldn't be anything.
Because it's blocked. I gotcha.
And whales have to come up to the surface to breathe.
Yeah. So, but when they see it, they actually say they see it with the neck. You know, it comes out of the water like that first photograph. Then you also have that one too.
Yeah. Now that one interests me right there. That one interests me.
The quartz.
He's out in the water, don't he? Because I know, you know, your mind plays tricks on you. That right there does. That's like,
The one you have at
yeah,
court.
that's like
And
right there.
another reason why you like that one is because it's a body.
Yeah, it's physical. It's
You
right
have
there.
a body.
Because the mind plays tricks on you. You go out there and look at something in the water from, 50 yards away. It could be anything,
Yeah.
But your mind
Well,
goes,
there's
oh my God, it's a lot
so
of
many.
this.
Have you seen catfish who about as big as this
Yeah.
nipple? You
Yeah.
know, I mean, people
River.
go out. Yeah, people go out just to rivers and they
Yeah.
see gigantic things. I mean, it really could be anything.
Mhm.
But there's hundreds and thousands of people who have seen such a creature over so many years, over decades. It's just one of those that, and not just in the water here. I mean, there's some of the lakes here in America. People have claimed to see creatures. What is that one? I forget the name of it. Yeah, people are seeing it here in America. Sorry, my fault.
For what? For like
The Nessie type creature. It's like Ogopogo. Yeah.
I understand that.
I know. It's a weird name. But no, it's like.
You're like, stop me with that name. I'm like, maybe.
Okay, boo boo. Your sister's okay with us listening, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it sounded right.
That's in British Columbia.
They've seen them in Iceland, close by. I mean, theirs is more of like a serpent.
Yeah, it's
kind of
definitely the whole snake-like
Yeah.
creature.
Well, the thing about the Iceland, when I saw the video of it, it was because there's actual ice up there. You can see it slithering through. It's real long, but it could just be a snake, water snake. That's what people think it is. I mean, but there's no proof of whether it is or not. So it doesn't even exist. So, and they're all over. If you go to you probably I was watching you guys, but you guys, they see something similar to this all over. I mean, everybody has their version of a Bigfoot, Nessie, a Chupacabra, whatever you want to call it. They all have their own versions of it. It's called something different, possibly. So, you hear about them all the time in Asia, out by Japan, fishermen out there seeing something like that. And that's nowhere near Scotland. So, okay, what is this then? So, keep going. Sorry.
No. What topic do you want to hit now?
Do Slenderman, yep.
Alright.
Going back to Men in Black in a way. Good old internet hoax / real, possibly.
Yeah.
The Slenderman, the one that supposedly has no face, real tall, man in a suit, kind of fits a Men in Black type character. And what are you putting up? Anything up yet?
I'm just gonna start surprising you guys.
The video.
Hey, that's fine. I like that.
Is it the video?
No.
It's just a picture of.
I'll let you know when
That's
it's
fine.
the video.
Okay, so this is what everybody typically sees as Slenderman. A tall, thin creature. I've seen pictures of him. Supposedly they had like tentacles out coming on his back, whatever.
Yeah, I think I sent that to him too.
Yeah, looks more like a, I don't know, porcupine in a way.
I think this is more of what's in the mainstream right now.
It is.
This.
Good
Now,
old Doc Ock walking around.
stories. The name has changed over time. It's been called many things. The Master, the Black.
Also goes back to the gentleman.
Yeah,
except that
yeah.
they have a face.
There's so many different names to it, and they claim that this goes back centuries. But apparently back then, it was wearing a suit and tie.
Yeah. Well, and see.
Or he just decided to dress better as he got
Right.
older. Who knows?
Well, I mean, modern day Slenderman that everybody knows about, internet right now, is one that's really a hot topic. One was a fictional supernatural character created by a guy named Eric Knudsen in 2009 for a website called Creepy Pasta.
And for the picture that's on the internet, it's up on the right side, kind of middle.
Oh,
You see a
that's
creature with
Slenderman.
some tentacles to it and everything.
Those are not branches.
Yeah, they're not branches.
That's what people have seen.
Looks like an
probably.
octopus.
Yeah.
With a suit and tie and a bald head.
Now, I've heard
Now
this story
that
where
really,
you're
to
supposed to
me-
go from one to the other.
Right. And to me, it just looks
Traumatized?
Oh, it looks
It
made
looks
up.
photoshopped. It's so made up.
Well, like I said, the original character, supposedly 2009, was this guy that made him for an internet hoax for a video. For Creepypasta, if you've ever been there before, it's just a bunch of urban legend kind of a thing. It's a website that has, you know, it's meant to scare people, especially younger teenage
The
kids.
game
and
is
stuff
scary.
Like that. What is it?
The game.
Oh yeah, yep. For Slenderman.
Yeah. Where you're
Yeah,
like
I've
walking
seen
through, it
videos.
looks like you're walking through the
Dark.
woods and you're hearing shh, shh,
Yeah.
shh, and you're like,
Right. Well, it got out of hand in recent years where two 12-year-old girls took it literally, and they coerced one of their friends to stay the night with them. Because a documentary called Beware of Slender Man about this. And these 12-year-old girls had their friends stay the night, and they already had pre-planned this whole thing. They were going to murder her because Slender Man told them to. Took her out in the woods, and it was very creepy. I mean, I watched the whole documentary about it. It's been a couple months now, but these girls had a conversation amongst each other. Okay, which one is it going to be, you or me? Is going to do it? I don't know. Well, you do it. No, you do it. I don't want to do it. You do it. No, you do it. It's just a casual conversation about it. It's just like, really? I mean, it shouldn't be even a conversation 12-year-olds should be having, number one. But the fact that they were taking it that casual, it mystified me. But one girl said, okay, I'll do it. Because he told me if I did it, he'll kill my parents, blah, 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 this kind of thing. Well, told her friend, you know, hey, they try giving her some kind of pills, just sleep, whatever, you know, we're going to stab you. I mean, that casual, and the girl's like, no, I don't want to die. Well, sorry, you have to, kind of a thing. And, well, they proceeded to stab her like 19 times. It happened in Wisconsin. It's called, like, Waukesha, Wisconsin. Thought they killed her and went back home like nothing ever happened. Mom asked, they had a sleepover. Mom asked her, where did Thing go? And they're like, oh, she went home. Kind of a thing. Like, no big deal. Kind of psychotic in a way, if you ask me. But the girl lived, and she, you know, was bludgeoned and crawled to the main road. It's off of the forest. Crawled to the main road, and a guy happened to be passing by on a bike and saw her, and like was mortified and called 911, and that's how they saved her life, basically, and got the girl arrested, and they're in prison now for this, of course, that they should be, but it's just, it's crazy, like the internet's hoax turned, you know, deadly, but supposedly there's sightings of Slenderman back from a long time ago. I mean, we're talking even before this whole internet's hoax, which is it tying with the Men in Black? I mean, possibly. People think it's the same thing, he's alien, supposedly, because he's faceless, like a Men in Black kind of is, you know, and there's a video I have that's in Max that a couple of cases that were quoted, I think there's 2 of them on there if I remember right, at least one for sure, where this guy was filming riding his bike down this highway and didn't notice that this thing was behind him, off in the distance, and they'll tell you about it. There's a car that stops and sees this and kind of talks to him about it. Says, hey, there's some faceless man behind you, this whole time. And it's pretty eerie. I don't know if it's fake or not. Could be. So Max is playing it right now.
Whoa!
See the studio here.
Good stuff.
Keeps on walking.
Looks like someone on stilts.
It does. Has a slow motion, but that's kind of what Slenderman. Well, there's different versions of him. The one with the tentacles have been seen on the side of buildings, crawling all over like real fast. That's why supposedly he can cover so much ground. I mean, it's so many different versions of this.
Is it okay to play that again?
Yeah, go ahead. I mean,
it stops and turns like Bigfoot.
It doesn't look it. I mean, the actual footage looks pretty clear. Now, is it easy to edit fake that? Of course it is. I think we're going to play that again. All the requested to see it again.
Good stuff.
There's one video of Jim. He goes up and down the road on his bike. He steps in his bike out. That's why he's so proud. And I hit it. And it's kind of, he talks about how fast he went. Not in this background hall.
It's got a cell phone. We can use video too.
He said the camera on the tripod.
Okay.
So we can film stuff with his
His whole body.
The way he walks just really isn't consistent. It's like it's moving. You know, it's not kind of, when you compare it to grass, it's moving.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It looks like a floating type. It's like it's almost like wheels, like he's on like roller skates almost. Every step he's just kind of
You
gliding.
can actually see a bend in the leg.
You do see it bend.
But
If it was on stilts, it would have been a lot higher to the crotch level.
It's maybe a stupid question. Do you want to see Twilight?
Oh,
Like,
you mean the glittery
wow.
yeah,
vampire?
that one.
The
With
love story?
Vampires, how they're
Are you
just
team
kind
what
of
do you call it? I just can't remember the names. I can't remember the names. That's until it's
Teen Sparkly
you know what
Vampire.
it is. I don't like you know, team, who is it?
Come on, you're a Buffy fan.
Team
Come
who?
on, I know you watch Twilight.
Which team were you
We
on?
actually just had a marathon not too long ago, and Jamie and I.
Oh my god.
What were you saying?
Sorry, go ahead.
Anyhow. But in where the vampires are gliding across where they're walking, but they're moving faster than what
Oh, really?
they should. They're gliding and there's but that's what it reminds me of.
Oh, wow.
But you have to watch Twilight
Still not gonna, but it's okay.
Well, they have those stills they put up drywall
Yeah.
that would be about that high.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, yeah, I've seen guys do that when,
I mean, could it all been fake? Even
Of course.
the person in the car that
Maybe
came
CGI,
up
I
to
mean.
like panic, like it was all planned. Let's film this together.
Or it could have been two guys were together and that car happened to be
True.
suspected bystander. That's what they stopped. There's somebody behind
So
you.
did the bystander that was driving by say what happened? Did it fade away? I mean, she stopped obviously to look at it. Is there?
Well, she came
Is
down
it-
the road.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
talked
her.
to
She's
him.
coming this way.
To talk to him,
He's
just tell him,
walking.
hey, there's a creepy guy.
It's
Face was back there behind you.
Yeah.
And the kid took off. He said he didn't see it at all. Even when he turned around and looked, he didn't see him back there. And he said, well, I went home and that's when I found it on video that he's in the back in the distance.
it said the person in the car was very shaken.
Yeah.
And was like saying, hey, did you know that there's this faceless person?
Yeah.
behind you in the
I
background?"
mean, looking at it, that from where Slender Man is supposed to be to where the biker is, that's pretty long.
It was too far away. It was
So how can you tell it's faceless?
Well, the
Well,
car told him that.
Yeah, but how? If the car was coming
Because the
from
car
The
was.
car was up on top.
Oh,
like,
it's
almost
coming from the same
Yeah,
direction.
it was on the same side
You
of
can
the
play
road.
it again if
Yeah,
you
let's
want
watch
to.
it
Yeah,
again.
Watch it later.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
the movement.
Let's
seems
play it
like-
again for the audience.
Because it almost seems photoshopped because the movement's just unnatural. It's not as if someone is walking on the ground.
Right.
It's almost as kind of
But
floating.
you can't. The thing you can't really see is what it's walking on, though. I mean, with the ground that looks like
Good
back
stuff.
in the area. I mean, it's. I don't know. I mean,
Why is he
This-
just?
Why is his camera so high? Yeah.
like I said, he was
He didn't
set.
pick up his bike.
He was set up the whole time. I don't know if I the whole video and it makes more sense as to what he did. Like I said, he leaves down with that car, and he has his bike out of frame way down there, and then he was flying back because he's trying to see how fast he can go.
But when does the makers come into, does he come from his trees?
That's what it looks like almost. Almost looks like some culture.
But he doesn't move his feet.
Yeah. He just kind of, it looks like he goes.
Exactly. So if he's on stilts, it would explain why someone moving his upper body.
It looks like his legs come around too, not a step,
It's what it
but
was.
yeah.
Yeah, they
Like if
swivel.
I were to go,
Sure.
Yeah, they
It
swivel.
looks like it swivels in a way. It's a different type of movement, but
It reminds me of those guys that do the drywall
Yeah.
on stilts.
It looks exactly like that.
yeah, I mean it could be. This whole thing, it could be Photoshop. It could be
I
anything.
mean, but he is walking on the grass. That'd have to be hard.
Good stuff.
Because I've watched so many videos of the Slender Man guy that where they come up close and oh my god, this thing's there, kind of a jump back kind of a thing.
He's walking. You see the bend. And he stops and watch his legs. And it looks like his legs go. You see?
Oh, yeah.
And then the second time he stops again. Right here.
Stops a couple times.
You see what I mean? You can still see two different
me, it reminded me like you guys were talking about something else. Feels that like you go to like those, even I don't know, anywhere like a restaurant opening where they have guys and stuff walking, they walk real kind of mechanical in a way that
circus.
Yeah,
Real
yeah,
much over like
yeah.
this. Yeah.
It's not easy. It's not natural motion. And that's kind of what it looks like.
And you cannot definitively say that it's, you don't see that it's faceless. You can't tell what it's wearing.
Right. Well, it's a suit.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
a black suit.
You see the black and you can see the white.
You see the pale face. Yeah. Nothing. The picture looks like nothing there for it because you can't zoom in on it. It's not clear. But that was just a video. That was one of the more credible videos I found. I mean, they're all to me a bunch of hoaxes, honestly. I mean, Slender Man, is it real? I don't know.
So here comes the question.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. So when it comes to everything that we've talked about so far, do you think that if you talk about it enough, whether or not it's fake or not, the more we talk about it, can they be real? Become real in reality, especially even like
you talk about it in an happens kind of thing?
Yes. Can it start to manifest the more you talk about something? I mean, we talked about that with the paranormal sometimes. You get like a mythical or like legend and lore.
It was projected.
Yeah, you project it. Now, some people say that is a real thing. You talk about it long enough, and it becomes real.
In that case, I'm going to win $1 million. I'm going to win $1 million.
So is Slender Man something that is spoken about to enough that it becomes reality?
Well, let's talk about something really cool, not Slender Man.
I know.
Well, I mean, that's just like the whole, and it's been proven, the whole Ouija board, where you have more people putting their hands on it, and you're thinking, okay, there's a ghost here named John. So, okay, with that being said, I think hard enough Jay should come up, oh, it's moving to Jay, because your mind unwillingly is actually focusing his hands to move. That's kind of what Jason's asking by saying power of persuasion or, through mental whatever.
I'm going to probably say no.
I don't know about that.
I would say to an extent, because what if it's some other force that, oh, that's what you believe in? Let me show you.
Right.
You know the story of Jason and Grant.
Yes.
They go to that house to check out a haunting, and the woman who lives there is constantly seeing a little girl who's playing in the bedroom, and she sees her running downstairs, and it's in the book that I gave you guys, the Jason and Grant book. Then she later sees her outside, pounding on the door, wanting in later that night. And it's just a rotating scenario.
Right.
Jason and Grant actually see this happen. Right. They go to a friend's house of this woman to interview, and they see the little girl that they saw the apparition of up on a mantle in a photograph, and they're asking, who is this? And they're like, oh, it's so-and-so that you just came from her house.
Right.
That's her and I when we were girls. Come to find out, she's not dead, she's alive.
Right.
But what she mentally held back was the fact that she had a very traumatic time with her dad that was, abusing her and everything, and that she remembers one traumatic day, an evening, where she was playing in a room. She runs from her dad, so she runs downstairs, she leaves. Later that night, she had nowhere to go, so she's pounding on the door, but he wouldn't let her in. That is being projected, so is that real or not real? They see it, she sees it.
But why doesn't she recognize herself?
She may have, but maybe it's such a traumatic moment that they had to sit her down and talk to her.
But if she saw the little girl, why didn't she recognize herself?
Would you know yourself a little girl?
Oh, yeah.
I see myself picture, but not thinking, oh, here's a ghost child, not thinking of that.
Right.
I mean, in your
you
mind.
got the clothes and everything.
I don't know.
I don't remember what I used to wear as a kid.
I don't think in a traumatic moment, if I was being abused or anything like that, blocking that out in your head, your past and everything, I don't know.
I mean, I'm not, you're saying, I don't know. That's just it. I mean, I don't know.
I'm just looking at all the
if I saw
possibilities.
myself as a kid, I wouldn't know. I mean, maybe I would. I don't know.
I would just think it was more of like the post-traumatic syndrome part of it, when she's being abused all of her life, and then she moves out and then moves back into the family house.
Yeah.
Who knows if she just blocked out her whole past? I mean, people do that.
Well, see, that's kind of what I thought with the whole Granola case. The girl was abused. Yeah, I thought she was projecting this friend as a protector of herself, or take her out of reality kind of thing.
Right.
And we actually encountered this thing face to face on multiple occasions and recorded it, and whatnot. And I mean, it's possible. I mean, but I'm not saying that was her as a child. She still was a child at the time, obviously. But with the whole black and going back to black eyes, they had black hollowed-out eyes and a scar on his face.
Yeah.
It was just peculiar.
Yeah, the Granola case had the child with black eyes.
So,
But I do agree with you. I think you can manifest it.
Possibly like that.
I especially in your own mind.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it really interesting what ifs. I mean, it's possible. Anything's possible at this point.
I mean, what was happening in Point Pleasant? Was it really a Mothman? Was it really anything like that? Or were they seeing, like, signs that they couldn't figure out that something tragic was about to happen? Because several people died on that bridge.
But suppose that you saw the Mothman, that would be one of the things, something devastating happened right after that. And it seemed like you did follow that. I mean, a lot of the times, reported cases.
That was the Men in Black involved in the surrounding area,
They all kind of tie in together, don't they? In a weird kind of way. It's kind of weird, all these cases. So, I don't know. I'm just after the next person. I mean, they make fun stories. I mean, scary stories. And, I mean, they make great movies, you name it. I mean, go on for days about that part. But.
And we have, I mean, there's so many stories, as you saw on the map at the very beginning, of creatures around the country that we, don't have time to touch on tonight.
Right.
We can go back to another question that was asked earlier.
What was it?
About, Jamie actually asked it about if any of these creatures could be what would be considered the boogeyman, or if the boogeyman is actually real or myth.
I always thought it was myth, but until, you dive into all this, you start seeing connections to it.
Let me throw something else.
Yes.
Go ahead.
What if they were brought here, aliens brought here, to see how they would survive here?
Well, it's funny you say it, too. I wish I'd been here last week because Brennan did refute me on this, or dispute me on this day and night.
I might do that too.
The whole Bigfoot thing. There's talk that, what if it's supernatural? Somehow. Not saying that, the creature itself, that's why you can't capture on, footage or whatever, supposedly, and that's why they're everywhere and they bounce around and whatnot. I mean, a lot of the Indians have been reporting this for years, this creature, the creature being whatever we've seen in modern time. They, I'm
not saying that it couldn't be.
Right.
Brendan did last episode make up a good point. He's saying, they're seeing that the creature is, bathing in the river and it's doing certain things that seems natural.
Right.
He's like, why would a being who can teleport taking a leisurely bath and stuff like that, he's just trying to, he's talking about like the natural everyday stuff that you and I do, and that's what it's doing.
Yeah.
If it's mystical and can transport itself here and there and everywhere.
Well, I'm not talking about it being able to transport. I'm talking about it being
Derived from
dropped.
alien.
Right.
Dropped.
Well, think about our famous case, Oklahoma. It had all elements of UFO.
8 times in a row now, guys.
No, there's one I didn't talk about it. Deliberately.
When?
I was here last week.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Someone else
Okay,
did.
no, I deliberately avoided that conversation. But anyways, no, but it had UFOs, it had Bigfooting, it had spiritual, or Indian, it had paranormal.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. It seems like if you go back a lot of the Bigfoot cases, not all of them, or even UFOs, there's some aspect, an element of one of those tied in somehow into it. It plays a role in it somehow, not necessarily always, because there's also talk that it is a thought to be known extinct ape that people don't know it's actually extinct or not, and it's actually this creature, Bigfoot. I mean, it's an ape, actual ape, possibly.
Yeah.
Or it's a creature from a man, maybe like a I want to say,
Wendigo?
yeah,
The Wendigo.
exactly. Yep.
You know that?
That's
You know Wendigo?
I did, but I can't remember.
You know this.
I'm trying to think. I've heard of it.
It's I mean, basic lore of it. It's somebody who's off, like in the woods, or you know, it's disassociated with life.
Right.
Tries to figure out a way to survive and turns to cannibalism and everything like that, and changes its basically its genetic formation.
Right.
Where
It becomes
it can-
invisible at times to become a natural.
it becomes one with nature and stuff like that. That it was human. Or
Well,
was it?
That is the story.
But now, but I also read where they found here that it had human DNA in it.
Right.
Something.
Right.
So that.
I mean, there's so many circle this way, that direction.
Was
you
it
know,
contaminated or not? Or
Right.
was it? Is it?
Right.
It has some.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is related somehow.
You know, Brendan and I actually collected hair samples that I
Right.
still need to figure out how to get it
I've
analyzed.
actually seen it, and I don't know what I'm seeing, honestly. I've seen the footprints, I've heard the sounds, I've experienced some things that I can truly, in my thinking, if there's ever such thing as a Bigfoot, that's what I encountered that night. We saw the tree
I agree with you.
Your tent.
I agree with you because, you know, I was real skeptic on that, and it goes with all of this stuff, but it's just so funny that, you know, like with the Bigfoot stuff, there was the footprints right there, but it was gone within seconds. Like, that's the part I don't understand, because you got all these shows, you got all these people that go out, boom, it was right there, and it's gone. It's
Okay,
just
but I can tell you a little bit about that. That little boom and it's gone. When I showed up, when you guys were outside looking,
Yeah.
I saw Brendan standing there, you're standing there. I actually shined my flashlight, and now Brendan was saying he heard noise coming from behind the house.
Yep.
And that's when you took your eyes away, and you guys were
Right.
looking off toward the house. Did it back up further? Because when I showed up and was shining my flashlight around, I could actually see eyes shine in the far back. That's when you and I kind of went down the trail.
Right.
We didn't hear or see anything else, but it could have been right there. You just couldn't see through the brush.
I know, but the thing is there's 100,000 other people that will.
Yeah, but
Hey, it's
think
good
about
what
it.
it does.
You know,
There was
yeah,
nobody
I mean,
around. You guys
right,
hadn't come
right.
out of the trailer. Or
Yeah.
you guys hadn't even shown up yet.
Yeah,
You weren't even there.
Yeah.
Which
I know,
means
and I mean,
Brendan's
here's the
out
thing
of
that
the
makes it
trailer.
so hard for me is because I saw the footprint.
Right.
You know, if I hadn't seen that, I'd be like, you guys are nuts. Like,
Well,
you know, you guys
Brendan and
did
I
it
have
still.
seen footprints.
You know, but I saw it right there. That footprint was.
I want to know what Paula thinks.
You know, well, like that morning, the footprint was there.
Right.
You know, I
Well,
mean, I
and
can't deny that.
That night,
know.
too, as we were going towards that, then all of a sudden the noise was behind us. Opposite end of the property, like it's trying to, like, if something was there, trying to distract us. Go over here now, guys. Now we this thing can get away from us.
And
Awesome.
the first time we ever went out there,
Yeah.
you know, back in 2010, 2012,
That's why we came to believe.
when you saw the structures out in the woods.
And the footprints.
Yeah, I've seen it all.
I mean,
It's like, but
You
why
had
can't
small
why
little,
can't we
you
get it?
had bedding, you had all
That's
that.
the thing, you know, there's people out there every day trying to get it. So,
I wish you guys could have been in the very first.
you know, it's like that story, it's like that
It
story you
would probably
told
maybe
me.
change your belief. Maybe not. I don't know.
You know, like Jason, when I first met Jason, we had a great story on that, and that made sense once you explained it to me, you know, when you went to that lady's house, and she swore up and down, she saw what she saw across the lake, the little creek.
Oh,
Going
yes.
into the deal. And then you made a statement, and I won't say it because I'll let you say it, but man, once you said that, it made sense.
So, Brendan and I and my dad, we went down southeast Kansas. It was bitter cold, and we were visiting a family in a town that basically the whole town was seeing sightings, and they've been seeing sightings for years, decades out there, where the creature, what they say was Sasquatch, was being seen all over the place. One of the family members said that when she was her and her husband, they were going to go over to the, I'd say lake, it's a small pond.
Right.
They were going down, it had a river to it, but it had a big opening there. But they were going down to the water. She left the van and was hiking down the hill while her husband was taking his time. The grass was way taller than her. So she's like going through a bunch of brush. She gets to the water, and as soon as she does, she hears, as if it's right there, this loud scream that she's never heard before in her life. It made her drop to the ground. She happens to just look up and sees a Sasquatch, a hairy, large creature running on the other side of the embankment, on the other side of the water, running off. In her mind, she said, it jumped the water. And I said, well, how big was the opening? She goes, oh, that was at least 30, 40, 50 feet, you know, that had to cross. I thought, did you ever turn around and look around you? What if there's one that was right there behind you, hiding in the brush, that screamed so the other one could get away, and you never saw it standing there? That gives you that image that it jumped, or it could do all this mythical things of running away so fast, or doing a teleporting idea. No, I think it's a family system, and they scream to scare her so he can get away.
Yeah, that goes back to what I was telling you guys earlier about the noise behind us all of a sudden.
Yeah.
We were trying to go towards that one direction, not the group, but the direction of the Bigfoot in the woods. Behind us, we started hearing knocks and yells and whatnot, and it's like trying to distract us.
Right.
And we've recorded, the recording I have, it's kind of in the intro, but it's kind of you just hear me say, now what the was that? My cuss? That was two Bigfoot, we think, talking to each other.
Yeah.
I need to get that cleaned up somehow and enhanced, because it's pretty crazy. And I have another one that's like yell later on the same video or the same recordings.
But I'm very definite with my feeling that
the recorder out there, right?
Yeah, it's over there.
But anyway, I feel very positive with my feeling that I saw eye shine just a few feet away from us standing there. So I know for a fact that if there's something that's still back in the brush in front of us the entire time that we're out there trying to see what Brendan saw. Because everyone, they claimed that they heard more crashing and stuff, like branches being broken in half back behind the house to get their attention away. It's almost the same scenario.
So they have eye shine like an animal?
That's what they all claim.
That's what they say, yeah.
I've seen it before.
I've never heard
of it. Yeah, I've seen it before.
I saw that Ben, remember when I pulled up and you were like, guys, we're probably remember we had the property for...
I saw eye shine at the Ben house.
So you guys heard noises? That was me by the way.
It was just something that, you know, Ben and I actually saw when we were, because he was running up behind me, but I was behind the barn, and I saw eye shine. It was well up into, it was high off the ground, and I saw eye shine that was at least this far apart from each other. I mean, that was a huge gap of eye shine right there that I saw.
That was the same place we heard that.
And we were having stuff thrown at us.
We heard that sound we heard, that
weird,
inhumane,
thumping type. It was weird.
It was that whole sonar, ripping sound that still, I can't watch it. Like Coach had it on recording, I could never find it on any recorders, but it was crazy ever.
But it's, you know, it's mythical, legendary, war type stuff. I mean, all this stuff.
Right.
But again,
I mean, it plays a part.
This is what we do. You know, we're trying to figure it out.
I mean, it plays the question: how much of this stuff that's reportedly out there, there's a devil, the Mothman. I mean, whoever, Men in Black. How much of it is just made up? I mean, how much of it is real? How much of it, you know, folklore? I mean, we may never know. I mean, it's been going on for centuries, obviously, for years that people are having these stories, these claims. It makes you wonder what the next one's going to be. I mean, there's always something new every day.
Renee says she heard a little kid voice while you were talking.
I was talking. It wasn't me.
That's too easy.
We're going to let that one slide.
I got to say that.
You know, one we didn't talk about was the happening. We didn't go into the happening.
We can do that for a quick 5 minutes left.
Yeah, I'd like to know some.
I don't think that's, from the research I've done, I don't think that actually fits into this category. I think that fits into 2 episodes ago, to be honest.
Okay. Think so?
Yeah, it's more
We'll still save it for another time.
Yep. Yeah, we went into that. So we'll do another demonic content probably somewhere. It's not to that degree, but.
So what we got coming up, guys?
Another episode. Episode 9.
Besides that.
We've got a
Slew of events.
slew, yes.
Next month.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, the end of this month, possibly is the Ghost Tour. Is that still going on?
It's still going on.
Okay.
Limited tickets left
Yep.
for the Woodshop Ghost Tour. The next month we have Nest City, where
Tickets still available for that.
yes,
Come out,
as far as I
investigate
know, there's
Yep.
still tickets available for that. There's a lot of interest to it.
Only one way to find out.
It's contact the Ness County Bank Building Foundation number, which I don't have it offhand.
That's good. If you go to our websites or especially Facebook, you'll link it there. We're linked to them. So
It's spend the night with us in a 3-story bank from the 4 counting basement.
Yep.
So 4-story
Right.
bank from the 1890s. So as almost everything in it's still almost original. It's awesome. We have coming up also, we're going to be doing, it's already sold out, but we're going to be doing the Midland Railroad Hotel again in Wilson. That's sold out. We have Oberlin coming up in September 9th.
Yep.
That
Come out. It's almost sold out. So come out and investigate with us.
they are holding on to some tickets for anybody who are, since we almost sold that out in almost 2 days.
Yeah. People want to investigate on places.
It's a museum of 15 buildings. We're going to get 7 that night, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep. And then clear in October we have unannounced yet, but per se out in Leavenworth.
Yep, it's we're going to be doing a talk with Ghost Tours of Kansas. Kathy Ramirez is hosting that. They're going to be doing a talk at Grinders High Noon Saloon there. And then later that night, if you go to the event, you're also going to, I guess how it's working is we're going to be investigating with the public at the depot there in Leavenworth. And then the next day, we are going to do a public event at the Eldridge Hotel in Lawrence.
Larry Town.
So if you want to go to Lawrence as well and spend the night with us at the it's I guess legendary Eldridge Hotel with a lot of
TripAdvisor has a whole article about it being haunted.
So
yeah, and there's photographs online of like the image in the elevator. Go ahead.
So basically look on all our websites, Facebook, Twitter, you name it. Look for those events, any upcoming events that we may have not announced yet. And if there's a spot you want us to go investigate, let us know. We'll try to get it set up, and maybe we can do a live Facebook streaming, whatever, something we can do. Maybe you can take part of it. I'm just kind of wrapping up this episode here. All these crazy creatures, these mythical beings, everything like that. It's like, what is real? What is fake? Who knows? We'll find out later, maybe more depth and more time.
Myself and Brendan are going to be heading to Missouri sometime here in the near future. We're going to be hopefully do some live footage while we're investigating some legendary creature out there.
Right. Yep. So we're going to come back with more stories soon.
Do a lot of hiking.
Yep. With all that said, this was the Cryptic Heartland podcast with all these fun stories. So tonight, hopefully you sleep well. If not, hopefully we played a part of that. So
think of the little children with black eyes.
Slenderman coming for you. So see you next week, same time, same place.
Good night.
Bye.
That's children.